you'd like to take
Okay.
here's my URL. If you want to take a screenshot, you can, or this is will be available later too. If I'm moving on now. So why TikTok? Why would you choose to present that way? So it's a way to showcase your library. You can share your lesson plans, your strategies, your tips. I am just a lone island on my campus. I'm the only librarian. I'm the only one. If I do a great job, there's no one to applaud me. There's no one to say, great. I mean, the teachers, sure, but like it TikTok is a way for you to share out, and also it expands the walls of your library so that people outside of your library, like other schools, your parents, your shareholders, your administrators, can see all the great things that are happening in your library. If you're not taking advantage of social media, then why? You should be. You should be showing you're doing great things in the library and you should be showing that. And TikTok is a way to meet people where they're at. Because I don't know about you, but most people have a TikTok. Most people scroll on their phone. So that's a great way to get a lot of people. Um, Instagram is also a great way. I just like TikTok better. But like TikTok's a great way to reach out to other people and advocate for your program. And I feel like we need to be, like Amanda said, we need to be proactive, not reactive. So we need to be sharing what the amazing things we're doing. It's also a great way to connect with others. You can grow your personal learning network. Like I only follow like educators, book talkers. I really use my TikTok. It's not my personal, it's not a TikTok for fun. It's really to learn. It's like a little short PD that I can, if I only have like a minute, 30 seconds, I can learn from that. And it's a great way to connect with readers with both the people who read a lot more than maybe you or are introduced to other books that you're not aware of. And it's also a great place to just have fun, to be silly and take risks and like um get to know get show your real self, and also see other people that are struggling with the same thing as you. Like if you see someone else who's having a hard time, you're like, oh yes, me too, I also struggle with that. So it's a nice way to get to know other people and connect. um well, I guess I'm going under this one right now. So that's an example of a TikTok I've done. I try to do I know it's a lot.
Okay, excuse me, Carolyn. Okay,
Sure.
you might want to reshare and then click that button that says share sound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody heard anything.
Okay.
It happened to me too, because I forgot to click on the sound option. So,
You're just so nice. Okay. Uh okay.
yes, so stop sharing and then just reshare.
Okay. And then share the sound.
Yeah, so I'm watching you. Um,
Okay.
okay, click on, yeah, no, the top button, top one, the blue one, yes. Uh-huh, and I hit share.
Right here?
Oh, wait. Okay, let's come back out. Come back out. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, stop sharing.
Okay. Stop sharing?
Yeah, and then now let's go back into reshare.
Okay, hold on. Stop.
Oh,
I feel like I'm one of those teachers that's like technology impaired. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm on a little bit of a delay because I'm watching. There should be
Share
on the
computer
page
sound.
before,
Yeah.
yeah, it says sound.
So mono or stereo? I'll just do stereo. Let's see. Let's see if this actually works.
Mhm.
Hear it?
Oh, yeah, it's working. I might turn it down just a little bit. There you go.
Like I said, I feel like I'm one of those teachers who's like, I have technical difficulties, but I will persevere. So like it's a good example of how you like can make it work eventually. So how I use TikTok, I use it mainly to learn. My TikTok is mainly work related. I throw in some fun ones with my dog Steve and stuff, but mainly it's just to learn. I use it to talk about lessons, displays. I'm a display addict. I love doing a good display of a theme or a book, or if I find a book I love, I want to display it and get people interested in it. So I film those and I religiously watch other people's and be like, "Ooh, I never thought about using that book that way. That's great." Like all of Amanda, by the way, is very funny on her TikTok and she shares great stuff too. But I get all kinds of great ideas from people. I'm like, "Oh, you could fix that book that way. I didn't know." Um, so I get good ideas about cool things I can try in the library from the folks I follow. I follow mainly librarians, teachers too, a couple book talkers, but mainly librarians. That's my target demographic. That's who I want to be following. Um, so if you want to try it out, if you're like, I'm gonna dip my toe in and I'm gonna just um give it a chance, give it a whirl. So here's my tips for success. Get to the point immediately. Think about you when you watch a TikTok. You in the first, I don't know, 5 seconds, you decide if you're gonna keep watching or if you're gonna scroll to the next one. So you do not want to be like I just said, saying okay, taking a long rambling build up to whatever it is immediately right off the bat. Tell them what the TikTok is going to be about, or have a hook like, what do you think of this, or like something like that. Think of a book. Don't you judge a book off of like the first, if not the first paragraph or even the first sentence. It has to have a good first sentence or I won't keep reading. Same with the TikTok. It has to have a good beginning. Like don't take too long, start right off. The second thing, and this is seems basic, but like have good lighting. Like try out different filming spots until you find one you like. Mainly you just want something with a good light, but you just want to make sure that I also get super embarrassed if people are watching me film a TikTok. So make sure, at least for me, I like someplace kind of private. So good lighting and kind of private. So you can film there. And then the third tip for success is to use existing sounds. Lurk for a bit, find a sound that everyone is using or that speaks to your soul, and make a video putting your own twist on it. Um, those get a lot of good traction. Mistakes, the fourth one is mistakes are okay. There is no right or wrong way to do this. As you can see from my fumbling start, I embrace my mistakes and I have a lot of them. Just embrace them. Just be silly, be authentic, leave in the bloopers. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's perfect, it'll turn off a lot of people. It's fine to make mistakes. Everybody does. It's fine. Um, add those in. It makes it a lot more real. Um, the other one is have fun. If you don't like making it, no one else is going to like watching it. Like it, so you have to present about things that you are interested in, that you are passionate about, that you really feel strongly about. You know, um, you can also just be funny or silly if you want, but like make sure you're having fun. It'll really come across if you're not. Um, speaking about coming across, be yourself. TikTok is about connections. It's about people respond to something that feels familiar and genuine. You can't fake it on TikTok. People will people will just see, will realize, if you're being fake. Don't try to put on a different persona, just be yourself. I know it's a little intimidating, especially, um, 'cause it's public, and you wanna have a public professional persona, and but TikTok is all about connection, and the more you are real, the more people will respond to that. Um, the
If I keep my body moving and my mind occupied at all times, I will avoid falling into a bottomless pit of despair.
That's one of my TikToks. My number one tip for success is be a consumer. Be a consumer. Download the app, lurk for a bit. Just watch, notice different styles and techniques, follow people you admire. Find people that you admire that you're like, "Hey, I would love to be like Casey Boyd. I'm gonna follow her and see what she posts." Um, Find what you like and figure out what works for you. Um, Only post when you're ready, when you feel like, "Okay, I've got a handle on this. This is what I wanna do." Um, these are people that I recommend that you follow. You can take a screenshot of this with your phone if you'd like. First, I have listed me because uh, like self-promotion, I just would love for you to follow me. I'll follow you right back. Like I said, I'm a display addict, so I do displays, and I also do tips on like how to just good things that about how to run a library, how to make it easier on yourself. Um, the next one is the snarky librarian. She's K through 5 and a middle school librarian. She works in Iowa. She has all of her lessons on her TikTok. If you click on it, it's all of her lessons. So especially for like a new librarian, they're all there. There's not don't go to teachers pay teachers. Get them for free from her. She has all of those lessons and she's very funny and just a really great person to follow. The third one is the contoured librarian. She um she is a K through 5 librarian, an elementary librarian. So she's also very funny. She does a lot of book repairs and book recommendations. If you're not sure what kind of book you like, if you're looking for a specific kind of book, like a creepy book or a funny book for fifth grade boys or whatever, like she has great recommendations. Highly recommend her. Hey Library Lady is also elementary librarian, and I love her because she's very sincere, very relatable. She talks about when she has a hard day. Um, if you want to go and have a little inspiration and feel like you can do it, go to her. Um, Number 5 is the Don't You Shush Me. She's a high school librarian. Um, like, I am so inspired by her. She kind of started the dynamic shelving, movement. If you're not familiar with dynamic shelving, it's as many front or forward-facing books as possible and, genre and, kind of like a bookstore. It's like, just go and look at her stuff. It's awesome. And she also does Ditching Dewey, which is like, if you get rid of the Dewey Decimal System and you, group your nonfiction in a different way. She talks about that. Um, Number 6 is Colorful Shoes. I love her. She's just cute. She's an elementary librarian. She's big into weeding and labeling. Like, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to other people, but if you're a librarian, like, yes, you're very interested in call numbers and where stuff would go and like why you're getting rid of this certain book and what are the pros of having it and stuff. So I recommend her. The 24-hour librarian is a public librarian, not a school librarian, but she has great book recommendations and also really fun displays. And Com's Wold Library, just one of my favorite public libraries. They do book recommendations and book humor, and it's just a great place to laugh and get good ideas about books you want to read. Um, they add to my TBR all the time. Um, People to not follow. It seems kind of obvious, but if there's no picture or no bio, you don't want to be following user 5674. No, 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 no. Don't. They're probably bots. They're not like don't follow them. if they have nothing about books, if they're on TikTok just for fun, if they're into Cocker Spaniels or whatever, that's great. I love that for them, but they're not who I want to follow, and they're probably not who you want to follow. You at least want to follow someone who is a reader who talks about books. If they have no videos posted, why are you following them then? Like, they're not giving you anything. Don't, there's no need to follow them. Or if they're not in education, I follow teachers, mainly teachers, librarians, coaches, things like that. Professors sometimes. Do not follow your kids. Do not, like, I feel like that's common sense, but just reminding you, do not follow kids. If make sure that someone is older before you follow them. And then anyone looking for love, like, no, this isn't Tinder, this isn't Hinge. Like, no, this is not, you don't want to meet people that way. And then last but not least, hashtags to follow. I recommend all of these if you want to take a screenshot. Book Talk, book reading recommendations, bookworms. They just give you great. Oh, I should warn you. You'll have to add a bunch to your TBR when you follow Book Talk, because they'll tell you about all interesting, fascinating, wonderful books that you're like, oh, I want to read that. And then librarians of TikTok, these are for the people, other librarians like you, who are posting about their library, about displays, about their lessons, about what's going on in their library. That's your target demographic. That's who you want to follow. At least that's who I want to follow. Teachers of TikTok, less so, but still good. They will also talk about school life and have things you can relate to. And then my last tip is to use the creator search insights. You go to just in the search feature, you're going to type in creator search insights and then click on view and then search, and you're going to search education or whatever your video is about, and then make your video in there. And that way, the algorithm will know how to properly tag your video, and it'll get to the right users, and you should, knock on wood, get more views. So I am sorry about the 1,000,004 problems I've had, but I hope that you will try TikTok, because TikTok is fantastic. It's such a good, fun way to learn and grow, and I hope you'll give it a try.
I want to add one, and I just put it in the chat. He's a teacher, but he is hilarious. He's Mr. Moore, or
Oh, I
Moore
second
teacher.
that. He is hilarious.
He
Yeah.
is funny. Oh my
Funny.
God.
Yeah.
I get it. He's a middle school teacher, and everything he talks about, I'm like, yep, that's what I'm dealing with too. Well, again, it's so nice to meet you, and I'm so thankful that you were able to jump in. Oh, we have a question from Anne.
Okay.
Hold on just a second.
Hi. Can you hear me,
Hi.
Carolyn?
Yes, we
I
can
can hear you.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
great. I had a question. Actually, I had two questions. Do you let students follow your account?
I haven't, but I'm starting this year in high school, so I probably am going to I will not follow them back, but they can
Right.
follow me if they want to.
And then my other question is, I've done this and it's been highly effective. I really recommend it. I have made short TikTok videos that I download and then upload into my learning management system to use
Yes.
for presentations. And it is a fantastic way to get every middle school kid in the room to sit up and pay attention to a set of directions.
That's actually how I introduced my library and my rules, with a bunch of TikToks. They love them. It's funny, and I use humor to like kind of reel them in. Yeah, I also second that. That's a great idea.
I have students that follow me, and the parents follow me. That's the thing
Yeah.
that's really funny. They love seeing what I'm doing, and then they get a big kick out of seeing their kid in the background or working, so that's what's pretty cool about that.
You just have to remember, when you post stuff, it's public. So make sure you're only saying stuff that you would feel comfortable like saying in, I don't know, like a faculty meeting or something. Your own private opinions, maybe yourself.
That's my fault. Sorry about that.
No. After all my problems, you're fine. You're totally fine.
So I have a quick question for all the social medias. What is your opinion on like personal social media versus or TikTok versus like one that you tag for your actual library or library program, like creating one for the school that's tied to that particular library versus personal?
I think it's a great way to do like a library one, because then you could have at least I'm in high school, so like I could have my library to create TikToks and run the program, like put it by me first. But I only do a personal one because I like to take it with me. Like I'm moving schools, so my TikTok is coming with me because it's a TikTok like for me, not for the school. But there's pros and cons to either way. So
Thank you.
Yeah, also to check with your district, because sometimes the district policy will state that the social media account must have the name of the school or the library or room number. They'll do little things like that. So just double check your social media policy. Well,